Hey guys, I am Game Advisor and welcome back to another Icarus update video. Today we're going to be talking about the week 33 update called Time Pressure number 2, so let's just jump right on into it. Now, first and foremost, they mentioned that they've made this new mission called Flatline Research. For those of you who haven't played it already, Flatline Research is basically a time-sensitive mission, but not in the same way that the previous ones were. What I mean by this is that the previous one was your mission time, and this one, it's more about making sure you don't run out of time within the mission's timer to complete it. It's kind of hard to explain without actually playing the mission yourself, but basically there's a timer and you have to keep that timer going by adding time to it via adding these things called enzymes that you get from biological creatures. Each one you put in gives you more time and gives you more time to complete the other tasks you need to complete within the mission. It's kind of a balancing act of trying to do something to complete the mission while also just trying not to run out of time to do those things. At the end of the day, it's a nice, innovative, and a great style of mission that gives you a sense of urgency, and I personally really enjoyed it. I think this would be in my top 3 or maybe even top 5 favorite Icarus missions I've played of all time so far, so if you do get the chance, I recommend you check it out. Just keep in mind you're gonna want to make sure you know what you're doing when you go in, and you're gonna want to have a lot of mobility stuff, but you can check out a mission guide for that. That's a whole nother thing. Anyways, just know it's a fun and interesting style of mission. Now next, they talk about their Alteration System that they're trying to get ready to implement into the game. What this is kind of this new system that's going to allow you to either modify or add additional effects or some sort of thing like that to each of your different weapons or tools in different ways. Right now, they give us some examples and they talk about adding things like gold obtained when mining with a pickaxe could be a mod that you'd add, or adding a bleed effect to your axe damage for your axe. There's a whole lot of different things they could put in here that could make it really cool. I like the whole idea of adding like a bleed effect personally, but I think there's a lot of things they could do like with your armor, or they could do with a ranged weapon. However, at the moment they're specifically focusing on melee weapons, but that doesn't mean they're saying they won't do it for ranged ones too. As far as the timeline goes for when we'll actually get to use this new system, they say it'll be sometime in the next few weeks. Again, I'm excited to see what this really can add to the game. I just hope each mod is meaningful and gives you a meaningful choice depending on the mission you might be doing. For an example, adding the ability to mine stone or mine iron or mine extra whatever other resource could be nice depending on which mission you're doing, but if you can only mine extra gold, you're always just going to craft the same one, which isn't that cool of an idea. I would much rather see it have some options and variety, even if they're just simplistic options and varieties for different missions based on what you have to do in that mission, so you have the option to choose what you want to make easier for yourself. This does come along with 2 new crafting benches they're going to include with this, but that's not really anything that's a big deal until we actually get to experience it. After that, they reference their feature Upvote system. If you don't know what this is basically just a place you can go to upvote the things you want to see added to Icarus first. This is not necessarily 100% going to always be the case, but it is a good way to help the devs know what you care about. So if you love Icarus as much as we do, make sure to go to their feature Upvote page, which you can do by clicking this little button right here inside the actual Steam page, where you can look at the patch notes. You can also do this through their Discord page, or you could just ask someone in the Discord community. I'm sure someone would give it to you. It cannot be that hard to find, but it's a really cool thing to check out. There's a lot of interesting ideas up there. After that, we have the Changelog, and they do mention a few extra things here. They talk about the Blood Claw, which is the new mob they've added into the game. It's just a variation on kind of like the Scorpion boss, but it's a mini boss. It just has a bunch of health. It's really nothing crazy, but hey, it's something new. I'm always glad to have new stuff in the game. They also made this boss scale slightly based on the number of players in the game, which is something I'm always glad to hear. They've also added just a bunch of other random small new features, like the ability to turn higher quality meats into raw meat in the cooking station. They've also made it so that the biofuel composter now has a better ratio for recipes involving meat, which is a nice thing to see. You've got the deep ore veins that they've added to the outpost finally actually being implemented. That was something pretty cool to myself, which I'm glad they added. And just a whole assortment of very small updates or bug fixes along the way. To be honest with you, there's a lot in this one that just have minor changes that you may never even really notice or care that much about. So if you want to check it out yourself, just go read the changelog. There's a few other things in there, but for the most part, all the big stuff has already been covered. It's just mostly the new mission and the fact that they're saying, hey, we're going to be adding this whole new item alteration or mod system in, whatever you want to call it, where you can actually change what your items do. I'm personally super excited for that. I think it could have a ton of implements on the game that could make it very interesting. Above all else, I'm most excited for that DLC we've been promised though, so I'm really looking forward to seeing that sometime soon, as I have high hopes for it, and I really want to know what we get to ride around on. They've hinted at some things, but I want to see the final version of it because it just sounds exciting to me. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I want to give a big shout out to Jim Phillips and Jonathan S. for being Platinum and Above supporters. Thank you all for watching once again, as we couldn't do this without each and every one of you watching whenever you get the opportunity to, and just taking the time out of your day to listen to this video. I'm Game Advisor, and I'll see you next time.